We outside. What's the good word, y'all? Hey, man, what was your Spotify top, most played situation looking like?
I'll be honest, I didn't look at it.
Well, sir, I need you to do that. I'd like to discuss that right now here at the top of the ladder.
All right, let's see. Let's make it a bunch of weird colors. Looks like a 90s Microsoft thing with like the colors moving around.
Yeah, right. Facts.
Now it's telling me my full name.
Put your whole government out there.
Yeah. Life moves fast, huh? Luckily, we took notes. You listened for 21,147 minutes this year. This puts you in the top 18% of listeners worldwide. Your biggest listening day was July 14th with 591 minutes. Where do you find the time? That's probably in the car. You played 1,861 songs this year, and one song again and again and again and again. Your top song was WWE Head of the Table, Roman Reigns by WWE. You were in the top 0.05% of listeners globally. You streamed it 64 times starting on April 6th. Commitment never sounded so good. While it's not a competition, there is a leaderboard. So, this is funny, actually. My top song was Roman Reigns. Ah, shit, it moved. My top song was Roman Reigns' theme song, like I said. My second played theme song was a variation, like a fan version of Roman Reigns' theme song. It was like a pianoed version. My third played song was Doja Cat, Need to Know. My fourth played song was another wrestler's theme song from AEW, Swerve Strickland. Big Pressure was the song. And number 5 was Doja Cat, Paint the Town Red.
I don't know what to do with this, but okay. Bitch, I said what I said. All right. I actually have my video downloaded. I'm actually going to probably try to make something with it content-wise, but I will walk you through some things. Of course, if you had to guess what my top song was, just throw a dart.
Knowing you, it was probably that Kendrick Lamar song that everyone was talking about earlier.
It certainly was. It was not like us, Kendrick Lamar. I'm in the top 0.05% of listeners of said song worldwide.
Did they just make up categories? Like, it just got to the next slide and it said, April was your mall goth rhythm games alternative metal phase. What the fuck does that mean?
About to tell you. They fired pretty much everybody who used to do this. Remember, I don't know if you remember last year, but it was really well done. And also, like, they had artists come in and do videos and say, hey, thanks for listening and blah, blah, blah. Thanks for being my number one of my in the top of my listeners, so forth and so on. They fired all those people to, of course, try to save money. And so that is AI generated bullshit there. Want to hear my I'll tell you some of my 2020.
It was my funny wrestling theme song season.
2024 Music Evolution. My March was smooth old school soul yacht rock. My April was Wild West strut pop. And my May was bougie football hip hop.
I just got July. July was your serotonin strut pop moment.
Strut pop. So who did they say you were listening to for strut pop? I'll tell you who I'm listening to for strut pop.
You were big on artists like Doja Cat, One Direction, and Pink.
I was big on artists. Well, listening to artists like Beyonce, Chappell Roan, and Billie Eilish. That's my Wild West strut pop. My bougie football hip hop, if that makes any sense at all, it doesn't. It's Kendrick Lamar, Tyler the Creator, and Freddie Gibbs. My top artist of the year. Do you have your top artist? You get to that part yet?
No. Hold on. I still have like 5 panels.
It's all good. It's all good.
WW was your top artist of the year.
Okay.
Which makes sense because I listen to a lot of veteran songs.
Correct. My top artist of the year was one Miss Beyonce Knowles Carter. And that's because I played the shit out of her album, Cowboy Carter, because I really love that album. And, but my top 5 songs of the year are as follows, of course. Oh, here, we'll do it in reverse order. Number 5, Lithonia by one Childish Gambino. It's my top 5 songs, not my top 5 albums, forgive me. Number 4, Texas Hold'em by Beyonce. Number 3, Like That by Future, Metro Boomin featuring Kendrick Lamar. Number 2, Euphoria by Kendrick Lamar. Number 1, Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. You can tell there's a whole lot of Kendrick in my life this year. And that doesn't seem like it's going to change next year because I won't stop listening to the G and X. So my top podcasts are, of course, CuzNCiseal. It's a Great British Bake Off podcast. I host it. It's What's the Tea? It's What's the Tea by the other host of the CuzNCiseal, Nick Jew. It's Dissect. I don't think I listen to that much Dissect for it to be number 3. I'm going to give that to Spotify, just slipping one of their own podcasts into my list. Number 2 is, of course, this podcast, Stage Scratcher Bill. Number 1 is, of course, The Black Guy Who Tips. Those all are, like I said, I've listened to some Dissect, but I've listened to way more of other shows, so I can't call it. Just to sprinkle some in there, my Xbox year review popped up as well. Number 1 is, of course, Fortnite. Number 2, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And number 3, Like a Dragon, Gaiden, the man who erased his name. And I did play the shit out of that game. I have not got my Switch year in review yet, but I just got my PlayStation one last night. And guess what? I don't play on the PlayStation a ton. So for PlayStation, I played a whopping 5 games for a total of 89 trophies, a total of 118 hours played. But my number 1 game was, of course, Astrobot. And that, of course, is true because that is my shit. But I like the little year-end breakdowns of my entertainment. I don't mind them at all. People will, try to... Well, when like I said, Spotify had something going, and now this year they simply don't. It's just kind of whatever. But I get it. My top artists on Spotify are, of course, Beyonce, Nirvana, Kendrick Lamar, Childish Gambino, and Tyler the Creator. The Nirvana, you'd be like, T, you been listening to a lot of Nirvana? Of course not. I like Nirvana just fine. But my kid has my iPad and loves Nirvana and plays. So it's like, people will be like, oh, my kid listened to a lot of Bluey or whatever. In this case, my kid is cool and they listen to a bunch of Nirvana. So that's why Nirvana is in my top artists. But pretty solid top artists. Beyonce, Kendrick, Gambino, and Tyler. And that all fits the bill. But just, I don't know.
So, yeah, my top 5 artists. Number 1, WWE. Number 2, Doja Cat. Number 3, System of a Down. Number 4, Disturbed. Number 5, Creed.
Nice. Having just discussed the good folk of Creed just a week ago. That makes perfect sense. Were you like hype?
Creed guy did a little video like you were talking about.
Oh, see, I should, because they did some updates to it, and I didn't go and look at my updates, and I wonder if they did it if they added to it,
I'm gonna turn my volume up and play it.
Yeah, play it.
Talk about the song "Man of Prison." I remember writing that song, and we played it at our local bar before we got our record deal, and that's what got on the local radio station. Is what got us our initial record deal. We still love performing it today. It means a lot to us, and you can see the emotion in the fans that watch it every night. And like I said, it could be one of the most important songs we ever wrote. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Very cool. No, mine. Again, mine did not have a little video at the end of it. Here, I'm gonna turn mine up now. You can hear a little bit of mine. Let's push Let's Go on my Wrapped. That's Beyonce. Kendrick. Nirvana. So I have a playlist on my Spotify that I named a Lil Yachty. It's all yacht rock joints because I really been banging with yacht rock. And then out of the blue, of course, HBO dropped a yacht rock documentary that I watched a good chunk of, but it got late, so I didn't finish watching it. So I need to go back and finish watching it. But I find it amusing that I was on this yacht rock shit, and then they made a whole documentary. It's like, here you go, baby boy, enjoy. So but as I was saying, like I said, I like these end of the year little recaps to kind of tell you what you've done and how you've gotten around and so forth. And I've seen other people do like, oh look, I use Apple Music, and I don't like Apple Music's version or their breakdowns per se. And then I've seen people who use Spotify. I mean, not Spotify, forgive me, YouTube's music app, and I'm like, I have YouTube Music, but I don't use it enough to make an imprint in my life like that. I have it because I have YouTube Premium. You know, it came with the service. So, of course, I don't. Their reps looked interesting enough. Oh yeah. Look, I have a recap that I've never looked at from YouTube Music, which is, of course, like, it seems pretty involved. I mean, let's check things off with a vibe check, shall we? You're listening this year. It's giving chill, teary, reflective hip hop. Okay. You racked up 608 minutes of listening this year. Of course, that lets you know how very little I listen to, because I have like over 20,000 minutes of listening on Spotify. So I let you know how very rare I use YouTube Music. 87 different songs. Guess what I listen to the most? You won't be surprised. It's another Kendrick track, but it's a Kendrick track that's not available anywhere. So I had to listen to the YouTube version of it, and that's 616 in LA. I wish he'd get the clearance that he needs and release that track on actual DSPs. But
why do you want to add it to your Spotify?
I would like that. I would not necessarily have it on my Spotify per se. I feel like if he legally puts it out there, then maybe he'll make a little record of it, a tape or something like that.
Let's just say if you wanted to have access to it on your Spotify,
all
one would need to do is take a audio ripper, rip it off of the YouTube video, and then upload it to your Spotify library from your phone. And then one could, in theory, play said song in their Spotify playlists with all their other songs.
That's crazy.
I have done such that Doja Cat rock version that she did at the VMAs a couple years ago.
Yeah.
She can't release the song because she doesn't own like the musical rights to like the instrumentals and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I just ripped the audio off the YouTube video and then I just uploaded it to the Spotify. And so I just have it on my personal, like in my playlist with all my other shit, but it's uploaded from my device.
I should do that. There's Gambino has a song called Saturday that is from the it's in that movie he did with Rihanna. But the version I love and fuck with is the live version he did on Saturday Night Live. And it's just amazing. And I would love to grab that song and, have it available to listen to at my leisure here. Mm-hmm. My top 5 musics on YouTube Music is, of course, 616 LA, Not Like Us, Champagne Dreams is it called Champagne Dreams? It's a Rick Ross song. Euphoria and Meet the Grams. So basically, all the diss tracks. Let's see. Kendrick Lamar is my favorite artist, of course. How much of a fan were you? Let's find out. It's Kendrick, Nirvana, Chapel Roan. Nirvana in this case, it's probably my kid using my iPad. Chapel Roan I like Chapel Roan a lot. January was my most adventurous month. May was my top month. Of course, June I had 616 LA on repeat. And August was all kinds of happy music, at least musically. They call me the Explorer on YouTube Music. Of course, my top podcast is Doughboys. because I watch now. So now, because Doughboys does a video version of their podcast, I watch the video version of their shows. I don't really listen to it much anymore because Doughboys will be in my top 5 if anything. So, Real Rejects Comedy and Romance. I definitely never. I probably listened to saw one episode of that show, and they put it in my top 5 on YouTube Music, which of course, like I said, that makes sense. Camp True Magic, where I want to be. Which is fascinating. Like I said, that I even have this because, like I said, I don't use YouTube Music much at all. I just possess it. But hey, that's what's going on. What? So, because my kid had we're rolling out or whatever. Because my kid had a concert earlier tonight. Tonight is also the Game Awards. So Fowler has been keeping me up on the Game Awards all night long, even throughout the concert. Onimusha. Oh, 2026. So he just wrote 2026 in the damn chat. I'm like, with no whatever. And apparently Onimusha is getting a remake or some sort in 2026. So that's what's up. Word to Onimusha. So throughout the night, if I get any more cool gaming news, I'll let you know. Do you get any more, any other, well, I mean, you barely looked at your Spotify, so I take it, if you had any more year in reviews, you ain't looked at them yet.
I looked at my gambling one the other day.
How's that one work?
The app I use to track all like my betting stuff has a year in review.
Yeah.
Similar. So year in review, welcome to your year in sports betting. In 2024, you placed 2,013 bets across 6 sports books. Average bet size $18.02. Longest straight bet win streak 9 bets. Best month June. Most used sportsbook DraftKings. In January, I was plus 8%. February plus 10%. March plus 22%. April plus 25%. May plus 6%. June plus 40%. July, I was 0. August, I was minus 2%. September, I was minus 4%. October, I was plus 14%. November, I was plus 6%. And then obviously we're in June, so it's not really there. For a total for the year of plus 11% ROI. My best day was June 7th, where I went 6-4 and profited $469.01. My worst day was March 2nd, where I went 0-7-1 and lost $175. You had a lot of go-to players. Jason Tatum was in 16 of my winning bets. Donovan Mitchell was in 15 of my winning bets. Tyrese Halliburton was in 12 of my winning bets. Luka Doncic was in 12 of my winning bets. And Giannis Antetokounmpo was in 11 of my winning bets. My worst player was Jalen Johnson of the Atlanta Hawks, where he caused me 10 losses and 3 wins. Top markets you've bet on. I had 377 wins on the money line, and I lost 70 times on player points. That was my worst market type. Here are the top 3 games events that you bet on in 2024. I had 29 bets on the Atlanta Hawks versus Indiana Pacers on January 5th. I had 18 bets on the Cleveland Cavaliers versus Boston Celtics on May 7th. I had 16 bets on the Dallas Mavericks versus Minnesota Timberwolves on May 24th. And then my best category was player receptions for the NFL, where I went 22-7-1. I had a 10-leg parlay that hit for plus 1,365.
Nice.
My worst bet was a minus 300, where I bet a game in baseball to score under 11.5 total runs, and they scored 13. I had a parlay, a 7-leg parlay that I had bet on the Cleveland Cavaliers versus Orlando Magic back on April 27th. That was plus 3,750. I would have won $375, and it lost by one leg. And the leg that I lost was Cleveland plus 10.5 points. They lost the game by 23 points.
Woof.
Yeah.
Man. That was a bad bounce.
Yeah. Let's see here. I missed 157 parlays this year by one leg, which would have earned me $11,813.59 had they all hit. Apparently, that's enough to buy a Rolex. Because it literally shows you.
What Rolex?
Rolex. It tells you how much the Rolex is. It would have bought me one Rolex date just 36 white Rolser for $9,050. And then I was in the top 20,000 of Picket users this year. I was 13,869th with an overall record of 832 wins, 1,140 losses, and 41 ties for an overall ROI return of 10.71%. I beat the closing line value of sports books 68% of the time. My median odds were usually plus 120. Let's see, what is this? Oh, I had 40 bets that missed by half a point.
Yuck.
Yep. My most bet teams reside in Los Angeles, California. And then it proceeds to give a code for inviting people to the app.
Man, that is telling and kind of dope and sad all at once. Jeez Louise.
There's a lot of swings in there. Like I'll tell you this. I started this month of December. The first 4 days of the month, I was up $850.
Yeah.
And then in the span of 6 days, I literally gave the entire amount back.
Yuck. What's tonight's situation? You got anything on this Rams 49ers?
I just copied my buddy's DFS DraftKings. Not like there's no sport. I don't have any sports bets in. Yeah. I've literally was working from practically the moment I woke up this morning till like 20 minutes before we got on this call for the show. Oof. So I did not have any spare time today to do any sports betting whatsoever. Like I didn't even open the sports book at all today.
Fair enough. Well, I guess I need to get y'all a show started. So give me a moment. Let me click this open here. Hey now, say now, I done slid on a back street, heavy on the Parmesan, everyday tax season. What the fuck you wearing, bro? It's tacky. Niggas laying on their deathbed trying to match me. Oh my god, I'm about to do the fool. They be screaming out P, but their resume is boof. Switch both lane, their engines sound like the zoo. Need a fee just to breathe, bitch. I can't talk to you. It's the Ben Frank murderer. Mister, I ain't heard of you. Gulf streams, back to back, flying through the turbulence. Who is he? Free lunch, craft services. Throw your ass out this rental if I smell nervouses. Hey now, say now, let me pop my shit. Water down my wrist. I'm around my bitch. It's a green light. Don't get out of bounds. I'm a blitz. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's all blue strips, nigga. What? Hey now, say now. Hello, welcome to it. It's episode 558, and we offer multiple brightness settings with both standard and night vision modes. I am your host, Internet Stay Real 713. Joined as always by my best friend, he is the 216's own. Lunchbox 2099. What's the good word, big baby? Oh, it's Stays Crunchy Milk. You should know that, but just in case.
Maybe I'm hurting future advertising revenue. But Waterloo water is not as good as LaCroix. There are a couple flavors that bang, but too much carbonation.
Okay. I have found a Waterloo or two that I'm like, okay, that one's doing it. So
yeah, like the cherry limeade, excellent.
Yeah.
All the other ones I've had so far, mediocre at best. And like I said, there's just too much burn up front, too much carbonation. Like I feel like I'm not even drinking water those first couple sips.
It's all spiky.
Yeah, it's just too much air.
Yeah. Standard show fare this night. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple of news stories. Got some amateur assholes. Box will tell us some things. We'll push play. I actually found you a new boat for your intro, but I have not put it in the intro yet. But I did find you a proper.
Is it like a tugboat?
No. I got you. It's a flyover of a aircraft carrier. I thought was pretty sweet. So
I could be like George Bush landing in just.
Oh my gosh. So first news story. Y'all remember last week I told you about the Church of Satan and that religious release bill situation? Well, man, they jumped on that shit quick. So religious release time bill added to Parents' Bill of Rights during Ohio Senate Education Committee. House Bill 8 passed the Ohio House last summer. This is Megan Henry on the byline. This is from the Ohio Capitol Journal. Ohio senators have added a public school mandatory religious release time policy bill to the piece of legislation that would force educators to out a student's sexuality to their parents. Now, what does one have to do with the other? What the hell? The amendment to require Ohio public school districts to put a policy in place to release students for religious instruction was added to House Bill 8 during Tuesday's Senate Education Committee meeting. The two Democrats of the committee, Catherine Ingram and Vernon Skies, voted against the amendment. A school district shall, rather than may, oh, okay, so now they have to, have a policy governing religious release time instruction, said State Senator Sandra O'Brien, Republican of Ashtabula. Ohio law currently permits school district boards of education to make a policy to let students go to a course in religious instruction, but this would change the wording in the Ohio Revised Code from may to shall, meaning this would be a mandate for Ohio school districts. State Reps DJ Swearengin, Republican Huron, and Sarah Carruthers, Republican Hamilton, introduced House Bill 8, which passed the Ohio House last year. The bill would require public schools to let parents know about sexuality content materials ahead of time and give them the option to request alternative instructions. It would also ban any sexual. She keeps writing sexuality. I think she just means sexually. But so maybe her editor just missed it, but she keeps writing sexuality. But I think she just wants sexual and or sexually to ban any sexual content from being taught to students in kindergarten through third grade. We weren't teaching anybody in kindergarten through third grade any sexual content. You don't need to make a bill for this. It doesn't exist. The bill defines sexual content as oral or written instruction, a presentation, image, or description of sexual concepts or gender ideology. Senate Minority Leader Nikki Antonio, Democrat of Lakewood, said House Bill 8 is not what Ohio needs. It's certainly not what the children and the teachers and the parents of Ohio need, she said. I think we need to maintain the ability of children to be able to talk to teachers, social workers, counselors with some confidentiality, and parents need to be able to be involved with their children, but also know that sometimes children need somebody to talk to. There were 62 parental rights bills in 24 states last year, according to Future Ed, an independent think tank at Georgetown University's McCourt School of Public Policy. More amendments were added to House Bill 8 during Wednesday's Senate Education Committee meeting. The amendment creates exceptions for disclosure requirements where they would conflict with federal law, O'Brien says. It also clarifies that nothing in House Bill 8 prohibits mandatory reporting under state law. Lastly, the amendment clarifies that nothing in House Bill 8 prohibits or limits career and academic mentoring between a teacher and student. What the fuck? Religious release time. The amendment language was taken from two companion bills regarding religious release time, Senate Bill 293 and House Bill 445. Hundreds of people have submitted opponent testimony against both bills, which are in committee. Two central school districts, Westerville and Worthington, recently rescinded their religious release time policy. Both districts formerly allowed LifeWise Academy to take public school students off campus for Bible classes during school hours. LifeWise Academy, an Hilliard-based religious instruction program that enrolls 50,000 students across 29 states, including about 160 school districts, Ohio school districts. The Ohio State Supreme Court upheld release time laws during the 1952 Zora versus Clausen case, which allowed a school district to have students leave school for part of the day to receive religious instruction. Release time in the middle of the school day is problematic, Antonio said. It disrupts the flow of students still dealing with their studies, she said. I think it needs to be an individual school district basis to make those kind of decisions. About 170 people submitted opponent testimony against the newly amended House Bill 8 at Tuesday's Senate Education Committee. House Bill 8 was up for possible committee vote, but no vote was taken. The bill has had 6 hearings in the Senate Education Committee. The 2-year General Assembly wraps up at the end of the month, so any bill that doesn't pass will die and would have to be reintroduced in the next General Assembly. The final House and Senate sessions of the year are currently scheduled for next week. What a weird bit of politicking. I don't even quite get what they're trying to do here. So they're saying you have to send your kid to church school in the middle of school?
I mean, your guess is as good as mine.
That seems wildly inappropriate, especially it's too many different kids of different ilks, and I don't know, man. Well, we will hope this doesn't get out of committee, because that's goofy. Here, I got some fun news. That one is just, like I said, it just happened to match up with the story we did last week, so I was like, oh, here, it's basically a follow-up, but, man, all they did was get me sad. This is from Seeing Cleveland. Vince Grzorek on the byline. Irish travel host lauds Cleveland in first episode of Ed Finn's America. The episode debuts as an incentive deal for the direct our Aer Lingus flight to Dublin was extended through we can still fly to Ireland if we wanted to. We should go to Ireland.
It seems like a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Minus the car bombs.
Wrong part of Ireland won. That's North Ireland that did that shit. So
is that not Ireland? Is it not one?
No. Do you not? So when it was all said and done, basically England kept Northern Ireland, and that's a part of the United Kingdom. And then there's Ireland, which is its own damn separate thing. And because basically how they settled up that situation, we don't really, they don't really fuck with Northern Ireland. They do. People are fine there. Lots of people go move to Belfast, which is in Northern Ireland, and so forth. But yeah, that's a whole different situation. There's a show we've been watching about that. Actually, is it Don't Say Nothing? Don't Say Anything? Don't.
I started watching some Liam Neeson movie last week where it was like car bombs in Ireland. It was like set back in the day, and I don't know. I got like a half hour in. I was fucking bored. I just turned it off.
No, this let me find you this. It's the Ben Franklin. Because I want to tell you the name of this show, which is actually right on. It'll probably be on there forever because I don't think they actually pull shows. But there's a show on Hulu right now. It's a little mini series. It's just called Say Nothing, and it's about what's known as the Troubles in Ireland, and that is when what they was fighting over. So of course they were fighting because the UK was over there trying to whatever, but it was mostly, as far as I am aware, Protestants versus Catholics. It was just, and this was up until like the 90s when this kind of wrapped up. You'd hear about the IRA and so forth and so on a lot, and so there's a show called Say Nothing that's on Hulu. It really is a good watch if you want to go through and watch it. And I think it's probably because it's a show, it has room to breathe, and it's based on the book of the same name, which is where they interview all these people who talk about their time in the IRA and what they were doing to fight against England and so forth. So, yeah, Ireland. But let me read you this in the article. Imagine Rick Steves as an Irish travel guide coming to the United States to guide Europeans through the best cities to visit, and you'll get something like Ed Finn, whose new travel show premiered in November and kicks off with an episode on Cleveland. Locals won't be shocked at Finn's itinerary, the Cleveland Museum of Art, the Rock Hole, White Side Market, etc., but will pump their chest at Finn's takeaways. Cleveland is full of surprises. Your dollar goes far here. It's the best city he's ever visited in his entire life. That last one is reading between the lines, but he did love his visit years ago so much that he made a return for the show. Finn was hosted by Destination Cleveland as the local tourism bureau continues to sell the city internationally and made the cross-Atlantic jump on the direct flight from Dublin on Aer Lingus. The minimum revenue incentive package crafted and led by Jobs Ohio, which includes funds from Destination Cleveland, the city of Cleveland and Cuyahoga County, that helped land the flight, was recently extended to the end of 2027, according to County Executive Chris Ronayne. Officials decline to say whether any of it has been paid out over the last 19 months, citing the competitive nature of airline deals. Anyway, Finn loves the food, the culture, the parks, and the people, as he should. The full episode is below. You know what? I was going to put this article in the show notes. So at the bottom of that article is a link to the episode where this man is going all around the city I call home and having a good time, and I dig that. Of course,
a good time.
always, of course, dig that. But you know what it is, people. That's your news for the week. Hope you enjoyed it or took some information away from it, and can do with that information what you will. But up next, it's time for a little.
I hope it's like the Wonder Years where like you got me like playing in the front yard by a white picket fence, and then like me looking lovingly into like my crush's eyes as I kiss for the first time, and then all of a sudden I'm getting on a boat to war.
I thought it would involve books in some way, story time, but damn.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess reading Rainbow works too.
Story time with Lunchbox. Sir, the show is yours. Do with it what you will.
So, I think I mentioned last week how I have 2 kittens. I'm like a new fur father. So, there's been a development on that. They were actually just here by my feet like 2 minutes ago. That's why I was leaning to the side. Well, when I received said kittens, I was told by my mother that the one kitten's a girl and the other kitten's a boy. And I didn't fact check that at all. And then the other night, me and my buddy were in the living room. I was watching Bosch on Amazon Prime. And the girl cat that we knew was a girl went into heat last weekend for the first time. So she was going through her like sexuality phase. Yeah, like she's adjusting to a new situation because it's fucking impossible to schedule an appointment for a spay and neuter in this city. I was on a website Tuesday trying to make an appointment for a place, and the earliest they had was February. I waited one day, and now they're booked up all the way until April. They're not currently taking any more fucking appointments. I tried the local APL. They told me to kick rocks that they're not taking any appointments. So it's hard out here if you're trying to do the right thing. But anyway, back to the point of all this. So the girl cat's been in heat since like Saturday, which we've been dealing with. A girl cat in heat's not that big of a deal. They just act a little funny and they're a little more talkative. Like, if you can, I grew up with a cat that like was never fixed, and she would do that like once a month or so. So like I'm used to it. Like I know the game. And so like, but we're sitting there, and I was more worried about the spay and neuter thing, from the standpoint of like, once a boy cat gets into that sexual peak of their maturity, which is around 7 to 9 months. I know that these cats are about 6 months old, which is why the girl just started going into heat, because girl cats mature a little faster than boy cats, so they hit their sexual phase around 6 months. So I know the boy cat would be right around the fucking bend, and once they enter that phase, opens up the potential. 1, he could have impregnated her. 2, he could start spraying on the wall, which I don't want that in my fucking life again.
Correct.
So we're sitting there watching TV, and then the cat that I was told was a boy starts acting like it's in heat. And I'm like, huh. So like the cat was over by my buddy, and he kind of does the old once over, and he's like, there's no testicles here. He goes, there's Catussy here. That's not exactly how he said it, but I'm interpreting. There's Catussy here. Like, this is not a boy. So I'm like, well, cool. Like, I'm actually kind of relieved, because like now I don't have to worry about those other 2 things. Those are off the board.
Facts.
Unless I've got a Jurassic Park situation on my hands. So I'm like, all right, well, I can deal with that. 2 girls in heat, like they can't do nothing then, like, and they're not gonna spray, and they can't impregnate each other. So I'm like, cool. Like now, the fact that I can't get them fucking fixed for months isn't a problem.
Less a
And
problem.
then, I mean, it's not really a problem. Like, yeah, it's uncomfortable for them because they want like their body. Like my buddy found a TikTok that shows you where to press on their hips to kind of like release the tension from the feeling that they're going through, and so
Yeah.
it buys them a couple hours of relief. And so like if they're really kind of stressing out, we can kind of like give them a little like I don't know, like it would almost be like the equivalent of like an over the pants handy in a way. Where you're just kind of like, you jam the thumb in there, and then they go, ah! And then like it was weird. Like the TikTok was like it described what to do and it showed what happens, and then he did it and like it worked. Like it literally, they did the exact thing they did in the TikTok. Like they kind of growl, where like you think they're mad, but it's not really mad. It's just what happens if they were being mated. It was like mating noises, and then like when you let go, they kind of like fall over, and then they just do barrel rolls for like 2 minutes because now they feel good. So like it kind of releases the tension. And so, them being in heat really isn't like, it's not fucking me up in any way. Like, as long as they're not boning each other, which they can't now, and they're not peeing on anything, they can be in heat all the fucking time for all I care. So, the issue though that comes up from this is I can't call that other cat Bose anymore because he's not a boy. I don't feel comfortable calling him Bose. It feels weird. So I changed the cat's name 2 nights ago, and I think it was an appropriate swap. I feel comfortable with it. I like it. So the artist formerly known as Bose, a.k.a. Bozeman, is now Shuri.
Okay. Fair. The arm is forming on his bow. Good times. You and your existence is so fascinating. It'd be here, there, and everywhere, don't it?
You got a lot of irons and a lot of fires.
Fuck yeah. It sometimes it has to be respected, I guess, as such. Oh my God! What else is going on in Box's world besides working far too hard this late in the year?
Going to my sister's college graduation tomorrow.
Exciting.
So big ups to my little sis, my younger sister. I don't know, like this entire week, like I bowled on Monday, and then like Tuesday, I worked, and then I went over to my dad's for our, my weekly Trizepatide shot. Yesterday and today, just fucking working, watching. I worked late yesterday. Then I've been watching Bosch on Amazon Prime. I know we're not in the entertainment section, but I've literally watched. I'm on the last 15 minutes of season 4. Nice. I've watched almost 4 entire seasons of this show in a week.
Yeah. You just got started last week when you told us about it. So.
Yeah, so I'm over halfway through the whole show already. Each season's like 10 episodes, and each episode's like 45 minutes or so. So like I've literally, all I did today was work, and like I had it on in the background the entire time I was working. So I literally started season 4 this morning, and by the time I finished work, I had 15 minutes in the season left. So, I'm glad it got me through the workday, because like we're at the time of the year where like I don't want to do my job anymore, and it's a struggle every day to fucking sit at this desk and log in and do something you don't want to do, and try to put a smile on your face and pretend like you want to do it, and like so anything that can help me get through the day is much appreciated.
Word to Detective Harry Bosch and the LAPD for doing their part.
Hollywood homicide.
Oh my God!
I saw that
2 spin-offs. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Oh no, I was gonna say I saw that they put that new Rock movie up on Amazon today, the one that just came out. red one with the Santa Claus movie. Like it literally just came out and it's already on Amazon Prime for free to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you want to watch that movie?
I mean, I wasn't going to go to the theaters to watch it, but if it's on Amazon Prime for free and all I have to do is have it on in the background, I heard it sucks, but I'll give it a once over.
Fair.
Like, I watched a Jack Black Christmas movie last week where he's like pretends to be Satan. Yeah.
How was that? Where'd you see that at?
It's on Paramount Plus.
Oh, for whatever reason, I thought that was a theater release.
Yeah, no, it was all right for a little kid kind of holiday movie.
Fair. 2 spin-off sequel series have been announced. Bosch Legacy, which premiered on May
that's
6th.
It got canceled.
And the second spin-off follows Detective Renee Ballard. But it doesn't say if it has a name yet. So that one, the second season performer, which premiered on October. The second spinoff follows Detective Renee Ballard, who kindly introduced in the 2017 novel The Late Show. Also, Bosch, the show, is based on some novels.
Yep.
Huh. All right on.
I think that was like Amazon's model for a lot of the stuff. Is they went for things that were already written.
Yeah.
So like it cut out really the need to kind of like pay people to create new ideas in a lot of ways because you have all this source material to pull from. And then 2, you get to move more product because you get to push the books on your app.
I was about to say, because they sell books. And so it's like, there you go. Look.
Yeah, like books. When I'm watching the show, if you like hit up on the controller, it brings up the actors that are in the scene. There's also now a tab there that says, if you want to buy the book, click here.
Man, that's crazy. Well, there you go, people. That's a little story time of Lunchbox, a little situation right there. Here, I'm going to give you, oddly enough, I have it in my hand here. I'm going to put that pinky out because it's classy. It's a little bit of tea time. My eldest son turned 21 years old this past Sunday. And we went to 16-bit, which had been his dream was always for him to be able to go to 16-bit. And as it turns out, we probably could have made this dream happen many a year beforehand because you can go in there on Sundays, all ages up until 9 p.m. Who knew? But it was nice that on his 21st birthday, we got to go there. I got to buy him his first drink. His first drink, twice over actually, because his aunt was right there and she bought one too. We got him the Hulk Hogan, which of course a terribly named drink, but a mighty tasty beverage. And I got to hang out with him and get him his first legal drink that I know of. So all I'm aware of, who knows, my child has been doing these streets beforehand, but still.
When you got him the Hulk Hogan, did you hand it to him and say, "I'm coming for you"?
No, I did not. But we all hung out and everybody had a way, so we got to raise him a toast, and that was fun. And then other people started showing up, and so other people, basically everybody who showed up was like, "I gotta buy him a drink," and it's like, you don't, but you can if you want to. And so this is where we had to discuss is car bomb the preferred nomenclature here in 2024. As it turns out, no, we probably the guy who invented the drink was like, "Yo, I know I fucked up and I apologize and rescind that shit." And he's like, "Yeah, that's really it really is a troubling name about a troubling time in a nation that is not here." So it's like all right. So here's what you do: you call that bitch a Dublin Drop or an Irish Slam, and you never ever order it in Ireland. That's easy. That's not too terrible a life to exist in. You know what I'm saying? But my youngest, I'm going to call her sister-in-law. I'm going to call these people my in-laws because I've been with Vanessa long enough to come on, bro. These are my family now. Comes through with her husband, so they all do a little Dublin Drop together, and Xander gets to chug his. And Box, I sent Box the video, and Box is like, I noticed he poured his into the glass. He didn't just drop it in the glass. And I'm like, because if anything, he has better sense than the rest of these motherfuckers who's dropping a glass of questionable cleanliness into another glass already of questionable cleanliness. Not that I think this place has filthy glass. I'm just like, look, man, just pour the one in the other and drink. And he did. He chugged it, chugged the whole thing. You saw the video. Of course, Vanessa won because Vanessa has been, dropping since college, so she can do that chug. But my son got through it. It's like, that's just gross. And I'm like, yes, remember that feeling because that's what it is, sir. Oftentimes, it's just gross. And then somebody else came in. They got him a.
I'm not a huge drinker. I'm sorry to cut you off, but like,
oh no worries, get in there.
I always thought the artist formerly known as the Irish Starbomb, a delicious, tasty beverage. And the fact that you had to chug it because if you don't drink it fast, the fucking Bailey's curdles.
Yeah.
Like it just made it it was just it was so sweet on the lips. And within 2 of those bitches, you were wrecked.
So what is this next drink? Somebody came through and got him a lemon drop. They're like, it tastes like nothing. And he was like, that actually wasn't bad. And then his uncle came through bringing up the rear. And what did he get him? I don't know what he got him. Whatever his uncle got him, and he drank that. And so my son was pretty tipsy when it was all said and done. So I'm like, okay, we wrapping it up. We get the fuck out of here. It was a good time. It really was a great time. That bar's nice. All the staff was great. Love playing video games and hanging out and just chatting up with all these people who I'm saying it's always nice to come together with all this family during good times and not sad times. And so it was just lovely to see all my folk and have a good time and so forth. And my youngest of my sister-in-laws, her and her husband gave him $100 in singles, all rolled up into a roll. And they gave him all that he needed to do to prepare himself a blunt. So I was like, well done, sir. Thank you for that. And so I had, of course, earlier in the day, woke up that morning and put together a nice little all butter crust and made my son an apple pie because that is what he likes to have on his birthday. He's a pie guy, not a cake guy like his old man. And I made him a super nice pie, and I was like, all right, you got to come home so I can sing you happy birthday. So he's like, oh, I was already coming home, no worries. So his lady drove him home and got him home, and we all hung out. And we ordered some pizza and hung out and sang him happy birthday, the black version, just in case you was wondering. And I was like, oh my God, your Uncle Gabriel said make sure you drink water. I forgot to recommend that. So he drank a bunch of water, and he ate some pizza, and he felt better. And he goes, oh yeah, I think I'm good now. And I'm like, that's good. And me as his father, you know what I'm saying, who is not a drinker but is a bit of a stoner, gave him one of my lovely hand rolled joints. I roll nice J's, and he's like, man, this is really nice because I roll nice. You look, if you saw my joints, you think I was handing out cigarettes. That's how cleanly them bitches roll. They have a filter in them, and I'm explaining to him like, hey, this is this kind of weed. It's going to be more of a head high, but you won't be paranoid, and you also won't have the munchies. It's a very nice high, and so I got to give him one of my nice joints, and I was happy about that, and just a cool experience overall, celebrating 21 years of that kid's existence, which is so crazy to me to think about. That also means that me and Gabriel have been friends for 21 years because I always tell the story of how Gabriel came into my life to replace me at work while I was out on parental leave. And so that means me and Gabe have been friends for 21 years, and that's a good time. And I don't know, man, it's all love, I just was really happy to have experienced that. And then tonight, my kid had a concert. I know you're like, damn, T, didn't you have concerts last week? Yes. They had like 2 concerts last week that I had to attend. And technically they had like 3 concerts because they had multiple concerts because they had to do some dress rehearsals and stuff like that there. So then last week was all was a program that has a name, and then they sang for the city and so forth. And tonight was just the standard winter concert. But my kid had a solo tonight. And of course, it's my kid's last year in high school, so of course I try to attend everything and be a part of everything. And my kid having a solo just makes me cry because my kid has this beautiful singing voice, And I'm like, wow, I am not joking. I'm gonna see if I can fast forward this video because of course I got it on video because I gotta send. I gotta cut out the solo part so I can send it to my mama, and everybody else I need to send it to. So let me see if I can get you my kids solo. And here I'm gonna mute my mic so I can find it, and then I'll play it.
With an open heart that is wide awake, I can make this promise: every breath I take will be used now to sing your praise. And to beg you to share my days.
And you can literally hear me sniffling right in the video as I'm crying my foot. But that's one. It's okay. So one, it's a song. It's like from Muppet Christmas Carol, if I'm not mistaken. It's only one more night until Christmas. So I love that song already. Love all things Muppets. And then my kid sings this beautiful solo, and of course I'm just like. I try not to actually bawl because, you know what I'm saying, cry like I'm in a, like, you know, somebody died on me. But man, I be crying. Ain't nothing I can do about it. So, but just been on that and then working on trying to find a college for them that fits the bill and that we can afford and so forth. And just been on my grizzly with that shit, y'all. That's just what it is to be me and be whatever. Major Christmas shopping has come to a conclusion. I got to get the stocking stuffers, but other than that, we're otherwise good to go. Last week had a Christmas introduction. This week has a Christmas introduction of this very show. I like our little Christmas intro. Here, I'll play it for you again right now, just so you can see it, because I think it's pretty nifty. I dig it. I just like the way it vibes with me. So I had fun making that. And I also I ended up having to make stuff for CuzNCiseal because we recorded that Christmas episode. We'll talk about that in the entertainment news. But life, man. Life is life. And I can't believe this year is coming so quickly to a close. And that's just wild to your boy, but here we are, and we have made it, and I'm grateful for it. And so, shout out to all my weebles and all my wobbles. Let's not fall down. But that's that for this time around. You know what's up next. You know what I'm saying? Every week we head to the mean streets of Reddit and to the subreddit AITA. Am I the asshole? And we find out if motherfuckers are the asshole. And it has its own intro on the show now too. So watch this. Am I the asshole? I love this segment. I want you to know that. It's an eclectic mix. So I only got two this week. One because one is a little lengthy. It has an update, so I figure we can do that one, and then there's another one. So here's your Am I the asshole of the week, and we'll let Box decide which one goes first. Would I be the asshole to divorce my wife if she says she wants to send our son to a conversion camp? And that one has an update. And then the other one is, am I the asshole for not tipping after overhearing what my waitress said about me?
I think we should go with the first one first and the second one second.
Very good. Would I be the asshole to divorce my wife after she said she wanted to send our son to a conversion camp? You know what conversion camp is? That all makes sense to you?
I assume we're talking about converting to religion?
No. This child is probably gay of some sort, and they want to try to convert them to straight.
They want to pray the gay away.
Yeah.
I don't like men's no more.
I will not carry a puss. Women. Whew, man, that guy. Anyway, so this is a pretty heavy situation, and I'm really confused and disgusted. Not gonna lie, I never thought my wife was like this. My wife, 44 female, and I, 45 male, have been married for 14 years. We have 2 kids, a 16-year-old son, let's call him Noah, and a 12-year-old daughter. We've had our fair share of disagreements over the years, of course, but things have generally been smooth between us. Now, for the context, Noah came out as gay about a year ago. It was a surprise, and as hard as it was to accept, I love my kids more than anything and just want their happiness. My wife visibly didn't take it well, though. She was upset and seemed to go through a grieving period where she didn't really talk about it. I tried to support Noah in every way I could, telling him that I loved him no matter what, etc. My wife, though, I could tell she wasn't on the same page. She would say things like, "This is just a phase," or "he needs help," but I brushed it off as her needing time. Fast forward to last week, and we're having a conversation about Noah's future. Out of nowhere, my wife casually mentions that she's been looking into conversion therapy camps and thinks it might be the right solution. She said that Noah isn't truly gay, that he just hasn't been shown the right path, and that this could fix him. My blood ran cold. Obviously, I was in shock. I immediately told her I didn't agree and that this was not something I could support. Duh. She got upset and said I was enabling Noah's confusion and that if I really cared about him, I would help him get better. WTF is wrong with her? She was persistent, and no matter how I tried to explain that conversion therapy is harmful, like I know those kids get abused, raped, and often end up either traumatized or killing themselves, and that I would never send our son to something like that, she wouldn't back down. If I'm 100% honest, I don't even think I love her anymore. The fact that she could be so heartless disgusts me. I know being gay is not easy, and people like her just make it even harder. I'm considering staying only for our daughter's sake, but would it be okay if it means hurting my son? It feels like a betrayal to Noah. I don't think I can keep living with someone who thinks this is okay. So that was just everything he put out there on blast. And most people agreed, no, not the asshole. You're not the asshole, not the asshole. So he came through with a full old update. Would I be the asshole to divorce my wife after she said she wanted to send our son away to conversion camp? Now, before I leave this, not the asshole? Asshole?
Feels like an asshole move to me.
Which one?
The wife, not the husband.
Fair. So he would not be the asshole. Okay, very good.
No,
so first of all,
like this like I can everything that like kind of said. I understand. Like I can understand you're not loving the person you thought you were with if they don't love your kids
the way you thought they would.
Yeah.
It's, wow. It's actually kind of a shock to the system when you hear stuff like that. I'm a father. I don't know what my kids could do to make me not love them besides, I guess, straight up evil. And even then, I don't know. I might be like, well, what kind of evil we talking about? Did you kill a CEO? What kind of CEO? I'm probably not going to be too mad at you. So, I can't call it. But, nah, not going to, just being who you are, nah, I'm not going to be mad at you about that. You are who you are. So first of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone here for all their help and advice. I've gotten under my... that kept going. I thought that would have been a period right there. It should have been. But the sentence kept running on. I've gotten under my post and in DMs. Sorry if I couldn't answer to everyone. That is one sentence. I'm still reading. Sorry to answer to everyone that there was just too many fucking people. LOL. Full stop. There's your period. So I posted something about my wife wanting to send my son to a conversion camp 2 days ago. First of all, some people told me how show her videos and documentaries about what happens there, but the argument has been ongoing for more than a week now. I've showed her things and she won't budge, because people who have this mindset are not going to be shaken off their whatever. This is what it is. You can show people proof, but their beliefs won't be shaken. I have seen, I don't know if you come across these videos or documentaries of flat earthers who decide they're going to go out and test the science of if the earth is a sphere or not by buying super expensive equipment and or doing tests that they've tested for years. And all those tests prove that indeed the earth is a sphere. And then they go, oh, we must have did something wrong or something must be wrong. Like, no, you've just been proven wrong and should probably be able to accept that you were wrong. That's not how these people's minds work. They're like, no, I'm never going to be wrong. And the earth is flat to these people for some reason. Can't call it. Really bad update, if I can be honest. So let's get into it. All of you told me to try to get him out ASAP. Y'all were definitely right. So yesterday I took the day off and went to see an attorney just to get some info about divorce, etc. But after what happened, I'm 100% sure I want a divorce ASAP. Yesterday I went to pick Noah at his Oh, you don't actually have up. He just said yesterday I went to pick Noah at his school, and as many of you suggested, we had a long discussion. I basically told him his mom and I may be getting divorced because she wants to send him to conversion camp. But I can't accept that. I've talked with her many times and told him I'll probably go through with it. He looked really hurt. My heart broke all over again, but was very understanding and thanked me for standing up for him. I put him into a tight hug and told him I'll always love him no matter what and that nothing is his fault. At that moment, he started crying because he was so glad at least I was on his side. And I'm very pissed. So sorry if I don't make sense, but apparently his mom had been pressuring him for months. She planned dates with girls to try and fix him and he had to lie by saying he was going at a friend's instead. Okay. She was saying he needs help, and as much as she loves him, he needs to get his condition cured, etc. I feel so bad because I've been so oblivious to all that, and I failed to protect him for all that time. How do you make your 16-year-old son go through that? So when we got home yesterday, I can't lie, I was furious and confronted her right there and then. That's not the turn of phrase, it's then and there, but sir. Have you said there and then? It's then and there, right? Then and there, okay. At first, she was trying to explain she was doing it for him. Hold on, I lost my space. At first, she was trying to explain that she was doing it for him, but her speech quickly turned to slurs, and it was clear she was ashamed of having a gay son. In the end, I told her I went to see an attorney, and that learning all that just confirmed that I want a divorce. She got really angry, calling me a delusional disgrace. We argued a lot, and at some point, Noah tried to separate us, but my wife punched him multiple times. She was saying disgusting things like he's a dirty F-slur and that it's all his fault we're getting divorced because his filth corrupted me. My daughter, who was probably in her room, came to see what all the commotion was about and was rightfully horrified and quickly called 911 when I told her to. Long story short, the cops got there and took her away. She was very reluctant to go because she was not in the wrong and they need to let her go. I explained everything to my daughter and she doesn't want anything to do with her mom anymore. Right now I'm in the hospital because my STB, soon to be, there we go. Wow, check me out, learning the terms. Ex-wife broke my rib while I was restraining her. I should have probably went as soon as the cops took her, but I don't care. My son was crying with a black eye and split lip. They were checking for any concussions. And obviously the only thing I cared about was to comfort him because I can't imagine what it can feel like to be beaten by your mom for being gay. I'm planning to file for full custody, of course, and my kids don't want to ever see her again anyway. Given all the charges she's facing, I hope she won't stand a chance against me. I just sent a mail to my attorney and I hope the procedures will be fast. I also thought of getting CPS involved, but I'm not sure they will really help. Like, I cannot understand how you can grow so resentful of your kid because of something they can't control. Even I had pretty strong opinions about it, but as a father, it is my role to unconditionally love my kids. And so I learned about the topic, changed my ways of seeing the world for him. It took some time grasping it, but I never doubted 1 second the love I had for my child. I thought it was the same for my wife. Visibly not. I think he meant obviously, and he got auto-corrected. But, geez Louise. I did not expect that story to take such a dramatically and sad turn. Sorry, that's not normally how we am at the asshole around these parts. That really was awful. And it stinks. Yeah, this dude's wife is an asshole, and may she be his ex-wife sooner than later. We'll leave it at that. Oh, crack my neck there. There we go. Let me do a little zoom in on this because I'm old and blind. Am I the asshole for not tipping after overhearing what the waitress said about me? Taking just that. Would this person be an asshole box?
No.
It's my man's. I, 30 female, was at a restaurant last night with my mother. She was meeting my boyfriend's mom for the first time. We're punctual people, so we got there about 30 minutes before our reservation. We got seated with no issues. It took the waitress 20 minutes to get our table, even though the restaurant was pretty empty. Right away, I could tell that she didn't want to wait on us. She didn't greet us with a hello. She just asked what we wanted to drink. We told her, and I noticed that she didn't write our orders down. It took another 15 minutes for our drinks to get to our table, and they were wrong. It's hard to mess up ginger ale and a vodka soda, but she did. My mom pointed out that she didn't order a Pepsi, and the waitress rolled her eyes, took my mom's glass, and disappeared. I excused myself to use the washroom shortly after. I had no idea where I was going, so I went to the entrance to ask one of the hostesses there. Okay. While I was walking up to the server area, I overheard my waitress talking to some of the other hostesses. She was pissed that she had to wait on a black table because they never tip well. My mother and I were the only black people in the restaurant. She wasn't even whispering when she said it either. I wasn't stunned, but her lack of effort started to make sense. I interrupted their conversation and I asked where the bathroom was. I didn't let on that I had heard what they were talking about. When I got out of the bathroom, my boyfriend and his mom were already seated. My boyfriend and his mother are white. When my waitress saw the rest of our party, she did a 180. Her service was stellar. She took notes, told jokes, and our water glasses were always filled. She didn't make another mistake. Because the night went so well, I decided to treat everyone and pay the check. She gave me the machine, and I smiled at her while I keyed in 0% for the tip. She didn't notice until after the receipt had been printed out. By that time, all of us had already started to leave. She tapped me on the shoulder and asked if I had made a mistake on the bill. I told her I didn't think so, and looked at the receipt. She asked if there was a problem with the service, and I said her service was fantastic, but since I was a black woman, I didn't tip well. Her face went white, and she kind of laughed nervously, and I laughed as well as I walked out after that. But my boyfriend's mom asked what had happened. I told her what I had overheard, and my boyfriend's mom said that we should have tipped her anyway because it shows character. She seemed pretty pissed at me after that. My boyfriend and my mom were both on my side because I'm wondering if I should have just thrown in a $2 tip. No, you're not the asshole. It's one of those situations where I'm like, you're not the asshole. But
I don't think she's an asshole.
yeah.
I understand her situation. I, however, don't necessarily disagree with the boyfriend's mom because it does make you the bigger person. And maybe it could help to turn people's prejudices around by not playing into them, if that makes sense. But I don't disagree with her being upset about what she heard.
Facts. And had her boyfriend been black and his mama black too, it would have just continued forth like that. It just would have been worse and worse service the entire time. Mm-hmm. And so on. So it only got better because, oh shit, there's some white folk here with him. She didn't earn the tip. And why do I have to be the bigger person when somebody is doing me dirty? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like you did me dirty. I didn't do you dirty. I came in here pep and happy to be here and was and would have tipped
I don't
you
know.
probably.
It's a weird dichotomy because like I see both avenues of the argument. You know, like I understand wanting to take a stand for yourself and put someone in their place. I just, at what point does that, like, it makes you feel good in the moment, but what good does that do in the long run, you know?
I don't have to worry about the long run. I'm not fighting the civil rights all over again. What I am doing is, fuck you for giving me bad service. I'm not going to tip you in kind. Now, unlike her,
But you said she didn't give bad service.
No. She gave bad service up until a point, and then her service took off. But up until a point, her service sucked. And she said shitty things about me. So, said bad things about me, gave me bad service until the rest of my party showed up, and then got your shit together. So a good chunk of that service was piss poor. Racially motivated, in fact. And then you got your shit right. Now me, sure, no tip, no doubt. But also, I need to talk to your manager. I'm not even paying for food at that night. You know what I'm saying? we walking away having cleared the deck. I don't know if I necessarily want her job because who knows? She might be their best fucking server to white folk.
I mean, you called a manager for that. Like, you're getting the job.
Nah, you think, but you know, the manager might be just as bad. Who knows? You know, you don't know. But I'm definitely gonna be like, let me have a conversation with you. Here's how the night went. Here's what happened. Now, a good manager will probably who like looks out for his team will be like, oh my god, I'm so shocked by this. That's not how Brandine normally gets down. You know what I'm saying? A shitty manager, of course, will put it all off on Brandine. Like, remember I told you the story about how we were at Cheesecake Factory and my food came out fucked up. And I made a point to tell the manager, hey man, don't be cool. She was a good server. And he still ended up yelling at the server as if she cooked the fucking food. Mm-hmm. That's a bad manager. And so I don't know what the good bad play out would be in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Would they be like, oh shit, I'm shocked by this racism? Or would they be like, that's not how Brandine gets down? It's like, where does that break down at? But I understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? The reason I listen to the black guy who tips is because I'm a black guy who tips. So when I first saw the name, I was like, that's hilarious. I'm a black guy who tips. Because I knew about the stereotypes saying black people didn't tip. And I did go, I guess I was one of those people who were like, I tip because I don't want them thinking black people don't tip. But that's not my responsibility. I can't fix this woman's racism. She's not going to all of a sudden think, oh, maybe not all black people don't tip. You hope that would be the case, but it's not going to be the case. She's not even going to remember that I tipped. And in fact, she's probably going to be like, my tip wasn't that good from that black person. Because she's racist. And racism has no logic. It's terrible when people who are just angry that somebody's a different shade than they are. But that's just how it is. Racism is not a logical situation, man. It's sad. And therefore I cannot hope to fix this. I know what you mean. I know you're like, man, but we probably can. Maybe for some persons. But like we just said, for some people, showing them the truth doesn't change their mind. They still think the earth is flat, even though they have done the experiments and paid the money to find out that it's not. And in this case, she's not all of a sudden going to believe, oh shit, I've showed them the experiment that black people can tip. She's not going to all of a sudden be like, black people all tip. She'll probably just be like, they only tip because the white people were there. You know? There's no fixing that. And you can't. And that's okay. And that's okay too. You know what I'm saying? Not everything is fixable. So, no, I don't think this woman's an asshole. And I'm sad that she had to go through that because that absolutely stinks. But that was this week's Am I the Assholes? Our entertainment for the week, as you heard, Box is deep in these Bosch streets. Anything else in your viewing pleasure or reading or writing or listening to or playing?
I finished watching a movie from like 10 years ago. It was called Cyrus. It had Jonah Hill, Marisa Tomei, and John C. Reilly.
Black and white movie?
No, it's from like 2013. Basically, like John C. Riley. Do you remember the woman? I think it's Catherine Keener. He was married to Catherine Keener, but they got a divorce because something happened, and he became really kind of like a depressed husband or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still friends, so they still talk to each other all the time. And everything. Now she's like engaged, and like he's like kind of like in his depressive state in his apartment or whatever. And they convince him to come to a party, and he's drinking and he's trying to like mingle with people, and he ends up talking to Marissa Tomei outside while he's peeing in a bush. They hit it off, and they hook up, and then like they keep seeing each other, and then he finds out that like she has like a son in her early 20s, played by Jonah Hill, who ends up being kind of a douche and tries to like break him up. And so then like, you know, kind of like rom-com-y movie ensues, and it's over like an hour and 20 minutes later.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia now. Fascinating. All right. Well, worked John C. Riley, and I just saw John C. Riley on TikTok today. You ever seen a TikTok where the guy's on the subway interviewing people with a microphone attached to a subway pass?
No.
There's a thing. There's this guy who does that, and every now and again he'll bump into somebody famous on the subway. And in this case, it was John C. Riley. So that's kind of a fun little interview. John C. Riley said restaurants should not. He says restaurants have had too much corporate influence because people walk to you now and be like, "How's everything tasting?" And he's like, "I don't want anybody ever ask me how something's tasting or how's my first bite." He goes, "Ask me how things are going. Ask me if everything's okay, but don't ask me how things are tasting. I don't want you all in my mouth like that." And I was like, John C. Riley, I fucked with you on that regard, man. So that was a pretty hilarious little TikTok. Anything else game wise or Call of Duty or anything?
I played like 3 hours of Call of Duty last Friday, and that's all I've done.
Do you play the one where you play as like different like items in the game? You know that? Have you seen that?
I heard about that. It's like hide and go seek kind of thing with items or something. I haven't done that yet.
So again, Vanessa sends me videos of these all the time because she finds them so hilarious. And now watching them, I'm like, that is pretty funny. So like this guy, the one I saw the other day, he was a flagpole. Well, no, not a flagpole, an electric pole, like a wood electric pole. But he figured out that you could actually just shove it clipped into the ground in a way that like it just was sitting there. So it was perfect. And so he won that match. But this guy, I watch his videos all the time, and he drives me insane because he always starts moving. I'm like, just sit your ass still. If you don't move, no one sees you moving and then get a beat on you. And it drives me crazy watching him play it. Because it's like, he was like, he in one of these videos, he was a gift, like literally a Christmas gift. And I'm like, but bro, just sit your ass still. Go wherever Christmas gifts are laying around in this map and sit still. Goofy. But that it seems like an interesting mode. And so I'm kind of like, that's kind of neat that works. Everything for Nuke's Hound has been like, there's been mannequins. And so basically you can just sit a mannequin down in the chair, like just sit a mannequin right here. Now people who know the map, know the map, they're of course gonna immediately come and shoot that mannequin that wasn't there last time. But I just think that's kind of a neat gameplay scenario. Shrinking, remember last week I was like, I think Shrinking only has 10 episodes unless they gave it 12 like the second season of Ted Lasso. Indeed, they did give it 12 episodes. So we get a 12 episode order this go around. So we have 3 more episodes of Shrinking to watch. I have not watched this week's episode yet, so I'm excited to watch that and check it out. Silo is still good. Still enjoying that so far. I told you about Say Nothing. That's on Hulu. I'm telling you right now, y'all should check that out. I have not finished it, but it's a very fascinating program about the troubles in Ireland, and you might want to check that out. I watched CuzNCiseal, the Great American Baking Show Celebrity Holiday Special 2024. It was Anthony Anderson, Lonnie Love, Rob Riggle, Vanessa Bayer and Susie Ellman, who is from Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't know her like that, but that's who were the bakers in this one. And Nick Jew and I did that episode, and it will come out on Christmas Day, but that's already recorded. It just needs to be edited, and I don't even think there's really any editing I need to do to it. I need to take in and out of it. It's just that, you need to clean up the clips of it. But that one we didn't do live, so the only way you can watch that is when we drop it on Christmas. That'll be your lovely little gift. Maybe I'll give that to the patrons early, though. So, yeah, patrons, you'll get that early, and everybody else, you'll get it on Christmas Day. Always good to give the patrons a little something, something. I have started Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on Xbox. It looks great. It is, it's kind of everything I love about video games. It's very much like Dishonored, in that some of the people who worked on Dishonored worked on it. It's like the good Wolfenstein games that came out in the last few years, because the people who made Wolfenstein, Machine Games, is who made this game. It's kind of got a little hidey, kind of stealthy situation popping off too. That's been real fun, and I'm only like a couple hours into the game, and probably like for anybody else who plays regular, probably maybe a half hour into the game, but I play with a little bit of a stretch to it. So I am also playing. I played a little bit of Fortnite. I played some Fortnite OG, and guess what? That shit is cruddy. Fortnite has been tweaked and set so much better over the years that to go back to the old way of playing Fortnite was not fun. So I only played one round of Fortnite OG, and I was like, I will not be going back. So I just play standard Fortnite. I started another game called 9 Souls. It's kind of a Souls-like, in that, you got some really difficult bosses that you really need to learn how to defeat, and I have not learned how to defeat the first boss I'm at right now. But it's a 2D side scroller, so it also has like a Metroidvania kind of feel to it. But it's really, really good. So if you have Game Pass, it's free on it comes with your service on Game Pass, and it's also available to purchase on Switch and PlayStation, and I think PC. So 9 Souls, SOLS, really, really good game. And what just came in the mail today was Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and I played the first level of that. It is real good, like real good. It's like $15 at Best Buy. You should probably buy that game. 2D side-scrolling Prince of Persia. If you know what Prince of Persia is, 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania. It's my shit. I love it. There's some weird thing going on in Monopoly right now. I don't know what it's going to end up being. Have you figured out what this is going to be? Is a board game? You need 8 people playing with you?
I have no idea.
Yeah, same. But that event is happening soon here in Monopoly Go. I'll let you know how that plays out if I remember to bring it up next week. Let's see. I'm still listening to Kendrick Lamar's GNX. In fact, I listen to it daily, oftentimes 2 and 3 times a day, because it's such a short album. It's such a good, quick listen. I just love it. They had a concert today in Compton. I wonder how everything went. I should check with Chaffee. I think Chaffee was considering going to that concert. TDE Christmas concert and Toy Drive happened today, and Kendrick was one of the artists on that bill. So I had to check in on that. The Game Awards is happening even as I speak, although it might have wrapped up by now. And my man Mike Fowler, bless him, was keeping me up on matters, all Game Awards, while I was at my kid's concert. And hadn't gotten anything in a little bit here, so Mike might have gone off to work at this point, but. If I come across something from the Game Awards, I'll let you guys know what happened. They announced a new Ninja Gaiden, but they announced a 2D Ninja Gaiden, which is kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? So side-scrolling, taking it back to the roots. And they announced a new Witcher game that won't be out for a very long while, but they announced it. So that basically lets you know they're working on it. Let's see what else Fowler sent me. Another Elden Ring situation. It came out. I guess it's going to be a co-op Elden Ring game. Elden Ring Night Rain is what that's called. The studio that made Sifu is making a soccer game, kind of in the FIFA Street kind of situation. Y'all remember that game? What else? Anything else in the realm of video games? There's going to be a Metroidvania Pac-Man game. Sure. I don't even know how that would even play out, but we'll see how that all plays out. But that's some of the news that I got from man Fowler this night about the Game Awards. yeah, that's about the bill of things, people. You know the deal. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possibly. Real great if you went and subscribed to our YouTube channel and started watching our video over there. I do all kinds of neat stuff in the production video-wise that you might enjoy. And in fact, today, the episode I put up today was the first time I put up the video version on Spotify, because you can do that now. So there is you can listen to it, of course, but it's also a video version that is on Spotify. That, of course, in the middle of the video, at around the 45-minute mark, has a subscribe to our YouTube channel kind of pop up, which is hilarious that's on Spotify. But I'm not going to make two different versions of the video. So, but that's just what's up. If you want to support us financially and got a few bucks starts away, consider joining us over on Patreon. We're members at the $5 tier, get extra content each month and early access to new shows. Which I just told you, I'm going to give them early access to a show that we've done. We got merch over at tpublic.com/user stays crunchy and milk, all one word, crunchy, of course, being spelled with a K. Feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We would certainly love to hear from you. And that'd be, mighty nice. We get a lot of love over on these Krunchy streets. Maybe some skim love would be lovely. Although April did hit us up the other day in the on the Skim Instagram to ask what's up at our Amazon wish list. I'm like, it's there, and but just in case you need it, it's always in the show notes, so it's right there at all times. So that's what's up. I the other day went to go look at the show's Instagram, only to be told it was gone, and that I had to appeal the decision. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I do with the show's Instagram? Nothing. I basically post the show. There it is. There's our show. So I immediately appealed the decision, and immediately they were like, "Nah, you good, man. You're fine." I'm like, "What was wrong? Tell me what happened." And they, of course, won't. But I'm glad that was addressed and taken care of. But that's crazy. So just in case that happens again, or if ever it goes away, I'm sorry. You should really be over with us on these damn blue sky streets. It's not. Trust me, I'm not doing anything. But I mean, the follows help. That's all I'm saying. But that was it, people. Thank you for joining us. It was a delight to have you here with us. We will do it again. I think we'll do it again next week. Let's take a look at next week. Next week is the 19th. Yeah. That'll be our last show before Christmas. I don't know if we'll do one on the week of Christmas. I think in fact, I don't think we will. That'll be Boxing Day. It's first night of Hanukkah. First night of Kwanzaa. We'll take that night off, okay? And then, of course, the week after that would be the 2nd. So 2nd, that one we'll probably do. We'll probably do a show on the 2nd, but we probably won't do a show the week of Christmas. You'll get a show that we will record on the 19th, but we won't do an extra show. So worry not. Our missing man is the 216's own Tatum 216. Send him some love. That is, of course, Lunchbox 2099.
Inject me.
But not sexually, okay? That's not what he's asking for. I mean, I don't think that's what he's asking for. I don't want to make any assumptions.
It's open to interpretation.
There you go. There you go. My man has explained himself as clear as possible, okay? I am the internet's Table 713. Don't make me push you into traffic. We'll do it next time. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.